The Adventure of the Brave Little Squirrel. In a lush green forest, on the branch of a tall tree, lived a little squirrel named Charlie. Charlie was famous in the forest, not for his bravery, but for being the most timid squirrel around. He would often peek down from the high branches and shiver, saying,
"It's so high, I'm scared."
When his forest friends called out,
"Come play with us, Charlie,"
he'd shake his head and reply,
"No, I'll just stay here and gather acorns."
The other animals wished Charlie would be a little braver.
"Charlie, you're small and quick. You'd be great at adventures,"
Owl Ollie said one day, but Charlie shook his head.
"I don't need adventures. I'm happy living a quiet, safe life."
What Charlie didn't know was that his peaceful days were about to change. One day, an alarming rumor spread through the forest. A giant crow from the swamp had threatened to steal all the forest's fruits and acorns.
"Everything in this forest will be mine."
The crow cawed.
"You'll all have to live empty-handed."
Fear swept through the animals.
"What will we eat during the winter if the acorns are gone?"
One squirrel fretted.
"And if he takes the fruits too, we'll all starve."
Another animal added. The forest friends gathered to discuss a plan, but no one dared to stand up to the crow. Then wise Owl Ollie spoke up.
"To stop the crow, we need to work together. But first, someone has to sneak into the crow's nest to see what's going on. Charlie is small and fast. He's perfect for the job."
All eyes turned to Charlie, who froze in shock.
"Emmy? No way! I can't do it! It's too scary!"
He stammered, backing away, but his friends pleaded with him.
"Charlie, if you don't help us, the forest is in danger. Please, will you try for all of us?"
Looking into his friend's hopeful eyes, Charlie felt his heart pound. He was filled with fear, but he couldn't let his friends down. Taking a deep breath, he nodded.
"All right, I'll try."
With the map Owl Ollie gave him clutched tightly in his paws, Charlie set out toward the crow's nest. The forest felt scarier and more unfamiliar than ever before. Shadows loomed, and every sound made Charlie jump. When the crow's silhouette appeared on a branch, Charlie ducked into the bushes, his heart racing. At one point, a sudden noise startled him, and he nearly slipped. But each time he felt like giving up, he thought about his friends.
"They're counting on me. I can do this."
He whispered, gathering his courage to take another step. Finally, Charlie reached the crow's nest. What he saw shocked him. Inside the nest, a mountain of forest fruits and acorns was piled high. But in one corner, the giant crow was feeding his baby crows. It was then that Charlie realized the truth. The crow wasn't stealing out of greed. He was trying to keep his babies from starving. Summoning all his courage, Charlie approached the crow.
"Mr. Crow,"
he began, his voice trembling but firm.
"if you take all the fruits and acorns, the animals in the forest will have nothing to eat. I understand you want to take care of your babies, but we need food too. Can't we find a way to share?"
The crow stared at Charlie in surprise, then thought for a moment. Finally, he nodded.
"You're right, little squirrel. I've been too selfish. Let's work together to share the food."
Charlie returned to the forest with the crow, and together, they redistributed the food. The forest animals cheered, praising Charlie.
"Charlie, you've done something amazing. You're so brave."
They exclaimed. Charlie blushed but smiled.
"I was scared, but I thought of all of you, and that gave me the courage to try."
From that day on, the forest animals learned the value of cooperation and supporting one another. And Charlie was no longer the timid squirrel everyone knew. He became someone his friends could trust and rely on. A truly brave little squirrel. The forest returned to being a peaceful and happy place, and Charlie eagerly looked forward to new adventures, racing through the trees with a newfound sense of courage and excitement.